Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Melos Machina. My gosh, it's been too many weeks since we've been here. We hope that you have had a good break, and also thank you so much for your patience. We missed you last week. It's wonderful things when the city that you're in decides to wreck your internet.
Oh boy.
It was fun. It was great. It was fine. I was totally fine with it.
Yeah, of course. Actually, yesterday I saw more construction happening, and I watched them get caught on our fiber cable. Like, don't you do it! Don't you do it! Don't
Not
you dare!
Oh no.
But yeah, it clearly didn't happen. We are back. We're going to be diving back into today's episode. However, this is the first time that I actually say we get to have an announcement. So with no further ado, Ben, why don't you take it away?
Hello, welcome. This is an announcement from our sponsor for Melos Machina, Cantrip Candles.
Yeah!
Whoa, we get to say that finally.
Yeah.
Cantrip Candles are candles with a story. They make soy candles here in Los Angeles that are meant to immerse you into your tabletop role-playing game, or really just whatever you want to use them for. But tonight, I figured you could, if you have them at home, light brine water tides, because we're on a boat.
Woo!
If you don't have a brine water tides, you can go over to cantripcandles.com or www.cantripcandles.com and use our code APAC, APACK, for 10% off your entire order. So we now have a coupon code for you all. Thank you for sponsoring us, Cantrip Candles, for sponsoring this wonderful show. And yes, please check them out over on the interwebs and in store if you are here in LA. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Cantrip Candles. It's great having you here. Cool. Well, with that, we are going to go ahead and get on in to today's episode. We're totally normal about it. When last we left off with our adventurers, you had said your goodbyes in Riversmeet and boarded the lock jumper. Having met the personnel manager, as best described, the older or middle-aged woman who helped you aboard and took your money, and figured out how exactly to categorize Chauncey as living cargo.
Best friend.
Best.
You then boarded the ship, where you met Jeffrin, who is the deckhand of the ship, and told you to go ahead and find whatever cot there was. And then asking if you had any time to finish up with your goodbyes. You had just enough time to run on in, where you were able to say goodbye to Galkin.
It's fine.
Mhm. Then heading back to the ship, everything loaded aboard, you set sail and made your way south, but up the Conderflow. Now, pushing against the current, the Conderflow moves with an almost supernatural speed. Though not unheard of for a ship, it is cutting through the oncoming water like a blade. This ship, now that you are on the deck, the air blowing through your hair, the three-masted, a little over 100-foot long vessel. You find yourselves on the main deck, to either side of which massive piles of logs have been strapped, now having been cut to timber. Ahead of you, you can see the bow of the ship and open fields, trees scattered, and the vast width of the river ahead of you. To the stern of the ship, you can see a raised section, an upper deck, if you will, where the third mast of the ship resides, ahead of which is the tall elven figure that was described to you as Tealston at the helm, clearly the captain. On the deck itself, there are two other figures running about and stowing lines, making sure the sails are kept taut. Jeffrin, the half-elf figure that you, or humanoid that you had talked to, as well as a younger human male, scraggly brown hair. You have yet to meet this individual. It seems to be hard at work. The woman who took your coin at the dock is nowhere to be seen. The bow of the ship is on the deck itself is a large hatch that is closed, but as cargo was being loaded onto the boat, you had seen it open and crates had been loaded below. On the stern of the ship, where the raised upper deck is, to either side are stairs leading up, and beneath is a small covered section of the deck, where the upper deck creates almost a balcony-like structure. Directly underneath there, you can see 2 doors leading into the back, as well as then to either side into the stair, underneath the stairs leading up, additional 2 doors on either side. As you are now getting accustomed to not so much the swaying of the boat, as the wind has caught it, it seems to be rather tautly pulled to one side, but there is a constant push, push, push as it pushes against the water.
Is the ship only powered by sails, or would we notice that kind of like how the barge was a, steam
Yeah.
thing? Is there any sort of power?
As you're listening, the farther away that you get as Rivers Meet is slowly fading into the distance, you just hear the wind pushing against, though not very strong. The only way that you really hear it is with the soft of a section of the sail that seems to be just catching slightly.
Would leaving Rivers Meet, well, I guess it's behind us, never mind. I was just like, is it port or starboard? But it's behind us.
I have a couple of things I just want to take note of as we progress through the waters. GM, first, as we gain ground upriver, how well do the crew seem to be faring? Do they seem seasoned or relatively newcomer? As well as, is there anybody of the additional passengers besides our crew that might be of particular import?
Sure. Looking over at the only other people that you see on the deck right now are the 2 crew members, in addition to the captain at the helm, Jeffrin and the unnamed gentleman. But go ahead and give me a quick insight check on them to see if it looks like they know what they're doing. You don't recall seeing any other passengers having boarded. Now that being said, you had gotten there with roughly 30 minutes before casting off. So it is possible other people had boarded and that you're just not aware of.
19.
19. Looking at both of them, Jeffrin and this unnamed figure they are focused, and though they are calling out not necessarily orders to each other, but more of a call and response of they seem to be working in tandem very well. Like they've been doing this for some time.
Okay.
So, Duathi,
I am at the railing, like.
As you're looking down, you can see the water pushing past, and you're familiar with the current of the Condor flow. It's not, at least in this area, very fast. You remember Marco being able to row across fairly well, but it is definitely moving. And now with the pace that the boat is taking against the current, the water's just pushing aside.
what do you think?
That is so fascinating. Oh my goodness gracious. We're going so fast and we're going somewhere new. I mean, I'm sad to be saying goodbye to everyone, but also, look at the water is going. What? is interesting.
I'll just never get tired of how just excited you are about everything.
I mean, I don't know. Have you been on a boat like this before?
I've been on Log and the barge
That was
and the
good.
rowboat
Okay,
and now this ship.
now this.
So, no, this is wild.
Well, I'm glad to hear then that you are excited too. It's just, I don't know, it's also very new and fascinating to me, and I try very hard to, let things be new and fascinating.
It's just nice. It's a nice change of pace from a lot of people. Some folks are not as curious about the world.
I think that is pretty true everywhere.
Yeah.
I was always told it would get me in trouble, but it also got me on this boat, so
True. True. We're a long way from our life in Upstrom.
Yeah. That was nice, though. I did like that, but definitely wasn't going to put me on this boat anytime soon, or seeing the water, or meeting all these new people, or heading to a very big city like Venture, or at least it sounds like it's very big.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've never been, but it's big.
It's big? Oh, wow.
Yeah. But apparently Gladen maybe first?
Right, we are stopping in Gladen for a day to resupply.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'll probably go looking for some, I'm trying to. I used to have a pretty good catalog of, the plants that grow where I grew up, and I don't really know these ones very well at all. So I'm trying to, get my pouch full again and, making nice things for us and finding useful plants. So I'll probably go off and, take some things and go play in a little bit. But I don't know anything about Gladen. I mean, I don't really know anything. So
Completely different ecosystem.
yeah, very
So-
different.
Maybe we can have a fun herbology walk or something.
And go pick out the flowers, and look at all the bugs that are eating them and spreading all of the stuff around. And maybe we could forage for some foods and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn, do you want to get your hands dirty?
Not particularly, although I'm feeling a bit anxious. All that rushing around, and now we've got nowhere to go but wait.
But we are going somewhere right now. We are going so fast.
As you say that, Andy pops in like, yeah, I don't really think that, if it's all right with you, I think I'm just gonna go down below. Come on, Chauncey. And she heads to the back, takes one of the set of stairs, goes down below.
It is bumpier than I expected.
Never fear, Finn. I do believe the landscape will provide you plenty of opportunities for note-taking as we progress further and further upriver.
So far it looks all the same, but
Well.
I'm sure
Keep a keen eye for anything that changes.
we'll see something once we get to Gladen. I'm looking forward to that, although I'd like to see the town, not back into the nature, but I am looking for components as well, so
Right, we are looking for a pearl.
a number of things, yes, Pearl being the top of the list.
Huh. Okay.
Although, if Gladen doesn't have it, hopefully Venture will. Do we know how many days to Gladen?
I believe 3 or 4 by rough calculation of halfway to Venture.
They did say it was fairly in the middle, so that was sort of what I figured.
And as long as the winds stay on our side.
Precisely. No inclement weather. To boot.
At this point, Jeffrin approaches you all. Says, hello. So, we're well underway. You're welcome to stay aboard up here, but as we mentioned earlier, if you are welcome to any of the cots down below, you'll find them in the sleeping quarters at the bow of the ship. Just please be mindful of the cargo, and
Sure.
if you need anything, that is part of my job.
Excellent.
Are there many other passengers on this trip?
Right now, it's just the 5 of you.
Oh!
Yes,
Alright.
well, there's a chance we'll likely pick up more along the way, as we stop. But no, right now it's mostly cargo. We weren't actually planning on coming all the way down, but
Yeah.
emergencies.
Right.
Yeah. How often do you make it down to River's Mead?
Not very often. It's I think this is the first time that I've really been down in a month or so.
So you mostly traverse between Venture and Gladen, or?
We tend to stay in the central areas.
Got it. And we know what to expect when we hit Venture, but Gladen, I haven't heard of that before. What's the place like?
It's a small town. It's tucked away into the hills. As we approach, you'll likely see. You may not even be able to see the town from where we stop, but there's a little rest stop where we can resupply and pick up any passengers or anything along those lines.
I see. And is there time to make it then to the town and back before?
Probably.
Excellent. Well, excited to see a new place.
Yeah, we'll be staying there. We should be arriving in the early morning,
Right.
and then stay there the entire day. Leave roughly the same time the next day.
Great. And how many days out is Gladen?
Gladen, we should be arriving on the morning of the 4th day. Although if we keep up a good pace, we may be able to get there roughly in the evening as well.
Excellent.
And do you all sail through the night, or
Oh, absolutely, yes.
fun?
And is it just the three of you on your team, or?
Yes, it is the captain, myself, and Hutch over there.
Hutch. Oh, excellent. And do you take shifts at night? I hope you sleep.
No, of course. Well, between me and the captain, we've got it pretty much covered.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, if you need a little pick-me-up, I have some excellent tea. I'm happy to share.
Appreciate that.
Do you have a place to, serve or tea time?
Oh, yeah, we have a galley down below. Yes.
Oh, excellent. Well, I was thinking about heading down there shortly, so if you do catch a break, welcome to join us.
Of course. Now that we're fairly underway, most of my duties are to be hospitable, as well as just general cleaning and maintenance. So.
Speaking of hospitality, I guess the woman who took our tickets or gave us tickets, is she on the boat, or?
Yes, she's in one of the cabins down below.
And I didn't catch her name. We were kind of excited getting on
Oh,
board.
it's all right. She, Claudine, I want to say.
Awesome. Is she?
And I suppose I misspoke. She is technically a passenger as well.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah, she's not part of the. It's complicated, but
sure.
yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. We'll, I guess, make ourselves comfortable and
Please, yes.
enjoy the ride.
Forgive me, I'm not familiar with maritime decorum. Will the captain be taking meals with the guests, or is he a rather private individual?
It's. There's no sort of pomp and circumstance about it. It's nothing fancy. He's a working man, so he'll be eating in the galley when he eats, or he'll maybe taking it in his cabin. But there's no set time of day to. I'll be serving you, of course, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just if Captain happens to be taking it at the same time, then I'll relieve him, and he might join, he might not.
And should I be inclined to strike up a conversation with him, could I walk up and introduce myself?
Of
Or
course,
is
yes.
do you need to make an introduction? Again, there's an understandable hierarchy with the captain of the ship, but I do not want to overstep my bounds here as a
There's
guest.
no overstepping of any bounds. We are. This isn't any of the sort of fancy vessels of old sort of a thing. We are working class folk. Though aboard the ship, he is captain. What he says goes. And for if any of you if this is your first time aboard, that is a good rule. If he says something, and really if any of us on the crew make a request, please.
Of course.
And, if he makes a quick request, just no questions, just do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, if you need anything, At least I'm available.
You
Even
say
if
that
it's just arms.
as if we should be expecting some trouble, or...
Oh, no.
Okay.
Rough weather,
I see, I
but
see.
to be honest, that's not really an issue for us.
Oh. What, and just clear skies out here, or
You
the
could say
ship
that.
can withstand the weather?
I mean, both, you could say.
All right.
Well, let's go get cozy, shall we?
Sure.
Leave them to their business of righting the ship. Yes.
Just make sure Andy's okay. I did want some tea. Do you want some tea?
Sure.
Always.
Well, the below decks, the doors to either side under the stairs.
Oh,
Great.
thank you so much, Jethro.
Of course.
Shall we?
Yes.
I have a hard
down.
time peeling myself away from the side of the boat, but I do follow everybody
We will see a lot of this for a few days.
for a few days. It's true. But it will always be changing. Every time we move, we're going to be by something different, and it's another thing I have not seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Good way to look at it.
Quite literally, too, is my plan.
Oh, Duarte.
Oh, I can.
Let's go get some tea.
Okay.
I'll lead the way down to the galley and start.
Sure. So as you head to the stern, there's the doors to either side. You've been directed that either works just as well. Heading towards taking the one to the left, you open it up, and it is at the edge of the ship itself. And as you open, you can see it kind of leads directly to a wall and a pretty decently steep set of stairs leading down below. You step down, step at a time, and you find yourself in an open storage area. Directly ahead of you, you can see crates that a few of them look familiar as to some of the crates that had been lost from the Fairbanks, or at least maybe not those exact crates, but a similar packaging. As you keep heading down, or as you look about to your left, you can see the mast in the center of the ship that comes down, and walls seem to have been built almost around it. There is a room to your left, and the storage continues going forward, where you can see another set of stairs, and the sunlight of the hatch from the further ahead bow area of the ship as light comes through. At the very front, you can see a door that is unmarked but leads to the front of the ship. Directly to your left, looking over, there appears to be one hallway, and then a mirroring set of stairs on the opposite side. It looks like both stairs lead essentially to the same space.
Galley towards the front, he said?
He mentioned the cabins at the front.
cabins at the front.
Not necessarily any idea of where the galley is.
I'm thinking Andy probably went towards the cabins. Should we grab her before, or?
Maybe, or let her.
Yeah, maybe,
Let them
maybe,
stabilize.
maybe. Yeah, they'll take a nap and come join us when they're ready.
I know she does not like water, apparently.
Right. Well, I mean, after what we've been through, I'm not a fan as much either, but I like it here, not in the water. Maybe once everything settles in for them, we will find some time to enjoy.
I'm sure.
I very much would like to do some observations of Chauncey and some testing, with the downtime, of course.
I don't know what to do, on this boat necessarily, just because it's sort of new to me, so I'm probably just going to wander and watch things.
That seems like one of the only things to do, so good plan.
I think I'm fine with that. Absolutely. I'm very good at, being patient and waiting.
I am not, but I have been looking forward to some writing time and some time with Chauncey, so...
Studying if you want to pour over, Sada's
Yeah.
documents even more.
Got a lot of reading to do as well, so and that code.
That's right, that code that she was writing in. Any luck on any of that?
No, I mean, it's a long way to go. I can tell sort of, it's a different way of notating magic or language, but I haven't made much progress yet, and it's not something that will come easy, I think. But
I'm going to start walking down the boat and start looking for anything that looks like, based on context clues, I'm assuming a galley is a kitchen. So I am sure to be looking for one.
Sure. Looking about and exploring, you have the immediate door to your left. You have the hallway directly to your left. That's it's almost to your left and behind you, so leads farther into the stern of the ship.
Which is the back.
Yes, the rear.
I'm good at this as work.
we'll add it to your glossary.
Any particular way you want to look about?
I'm going to go forward towards the bow.
Yeah, as you do, there is the door that is kind of on a catty-corner angle. It is closed. That's on the wall that is created as part of the mast. And as you keep going towards the very bow of the ship, passing the mast, you see a second door. The wall seems to straighten out, and this one does have just a wooden plank on it or a plaque that carved in says galley.
Oh, hey, I found it.
Good.
Love when things are labeled.
I know, it wasn't hard at all. It's like they assumed I would get lost down here, and they were like, no, a sign. Just gonna open the door.
Yeah.
How's our galley looking?
As you look in, it is a rather cramped space, roughly 15 feet at the most wide, but about 5 feet deep in total.
It's a galley kitchen.
Yeah.
It's a galley.
But in here, you see that hanging from the rack, there are some iron pots and pans that are kind of rattling with the soft swaying of the ship. You also see a wooden stovetop that is currently unlit. You see a few jugs of water that have been set aside, and a couple of crates of looks to be fruits, vegetables, little bits of store of food in here.
Found it.
I'd like to rummage around for anything that would make a suitable kettle and/or pot to boil some water in.
Sure, there's a large pot that you can boil water in.
Perfect. Grab some, what I assume is the fresh water in
Sure.
the jugs, and get to work on prepping tea time for everybody.
As you get the tea going, it's brewed up nice and quickly, and you did assume correctly it was fresh water.
Oh, good, yes. Salty tea is no good.
Why would it be salty?
Is the rivers not salty? No, that's right. Right.
I mean, usually they're fresh water, but
Look, we didn't get on the water much outside of the lake. The lake I know is not salty. That's not. But when I read about ships this size as a kid, I never imagined them sailing up rivers. It's always out at sea. Endless expanses of water.
bigger?
I assume. Endless, as far as the eye can see, and very salty.
Oh,
Yeah.
next adventure.
That sounds so huge.
We're working our way up. You see, we went from upstream to River's Meet, and then we're gonna go to Venture,
Mm-hmm.
and then Saros Manor.
Saros Manor.
So we're increasing in size of locale. We can do that with bodies of water too.
Where is this endless body of water?
No idea.
Where this water ends, I presume.
If we like kept going.
Give me a history check, actually.
Sure. Not good. I assume most of what I know about ships are from fantasy books. So that's,
How meta.
I mean, it's an 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the ship designs are present, and there are novels of that recant or tell the story of much larger ships than this that were made not for rivers, and you do know that the history of Jowdek, it is an island continent. So it does stand alone, and there is a vast sea in all directions. But that's really where the extent of that information goes. Because, quite frankly, there's not a lot of safety in most of the areas that are cleared of the prowling fields are central.
Right. Right. Landlocked.
Exactly. Before you can reach the sea, you have to go through a different, dangerous, endless sea of its own.
I imagine not many people explore the seas these days. We've got this new frontier to explore, so...
Nonetheless, rivers the size of the Conderflow are often the lifeblood for many of Jowdek. So it stands to reason that vessels would be constructed to enhance mobility and commercial prospects as well, such as the Plavertons, who have, expanded their business among many cities.
You all keep saying the Plavertons, and I know they talked about it in River's Meet. Are they, just a wealthy family in Venture, or...?
They're the leading business, is my understanding. They establish the town and run the shipping lanes, and a lot of the trade is through them or people they hire. That warehouse, one of the warehouses, or more.
A number of them in River's Meet.
Even Marcos, he said he was working for them, or at least associated, I believe.
Right. No, I mean, that's basically what I understood from Marius, too.
Right.
But just interesting to me that one group can have such a wide influence on an area.
Well, when there's no competition, it's not hard to get ahead.
Also, you can give. I think we did this before, but let's go ahead and give me another history on the Plavertons.
I think we did.
Although I'm quite certain we did.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this before. That the Plavertons specifically, it is milling and construction. So they do, as you say, have essentially a monopoly in that there are frontier towns that are needing construction material, and they are the supply.
Whoever the first Plaverton was that came out here and brought the construction trade was a smart man. I mean, it's nothing to do out here but build, so...
Town moved very fast, too, because you say that the walls opened 50 years ago, right? That's very quick.
I don't know their family history or the history of the business, but I presume they were established before the walls opened. It's hard to get together that kind of capital on a moment's notice, but they could have had help as well.
But there were a bunch of people that left immediately. I mean, my family
Like
was
your
one.
family.
Yeah.
Right. You all left and went out into, discover things.
Yeah, we were done with being behind walls. So, I assumed they were early pioneers, I guess. They just went further.
The trains weren't running, I presume. Did you just walk out the gates and...
I've never been on the train.
I don't think I would have been on the train, right? Because it
You
wouldn't
have
move
not.
around the city. It's not.
You
it's
have
not a
not.
trolley.
You've ridden a few vehicles, but the rail was never one of them.
Very much like to try that next.
Yeah. I mean,
Sounds very excited. Don't really understand, but I have a feeling I'll figure it out when I see it. Just like this boat.
I imagine it's less bumpy.
I don't know.
Well, it is floating. So,
One can presume the technological investment in it would secure a smooth ride. However, again, put that on the list of experiences to encounter.
Have you never been on a train?
No. My parents have, but I've never personally experienced it.
Andy had, right?
Mhm.
So,
I
you
will
can
have
always
to
ask our
Andy
friend.
about it when she's feeling a little bit better, probably here in a little bit.
I'll have to ask my parents next time I see them about it. We never really talked about it, so.
I'd like to just peruse through the pantry, see if there's like an apple or something.
Oh yeah, easy enough.
Just
There is.
Grab a snack. And I kind of want to just meander back to the crates that were loaded
Mhm.
and just kind of give them a once over and see if the crates look fresh, if they look like they've been transferred to and from a couple times. Like, do they look like sea worn or like weather worn, or are these like
Yeah.
brand new boxes that have been loaded on?
Give me an investigation.
Sure.
Skills.
Do you go and get them skills?
17.
17. It's a fairly broad assortment of all of them. There are a few crates that clearly have been opened and then repackaged that have been through it. You don't see any that appear to have any extensive like rot or water damage. There are a couple that look fresh, that this may be their first trip. But there's a wide range. It looks like many of these get reused over and over again for transport.
Anything as distinct as the overseer's chests?
Nothing that you have seen so far. Most of these seem to be labeled as grains. A few of them are labeled as scrap, and a lot of it appears to be goods from the farms in the Rivers Meet area, as well as then pieces being sent back upriver.
Okay. Just wanted to be aware of any additional precious cargo on this trip returning.
Just Chauncey.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, the crackerjack.
As far as cargo goes, your cart has been lashed down. It's on deck. And
Top deck.
yes, it's on the top deck.
Okay.
And if I recall, the crackerjack box is.
With me, ideally, I'm very hesitant to let go of it.
That's
so,
fair.
Yes.
I think
Oh right, because we downsized to
We
just a
downsized
small
it.
one.
Yeah, it's a small box. I'd probably just have set it.
It's amazing what
on the
3 weeks
table
will do
with
for your
the-
memory.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's been 84 years. And the rest of our gear is not on the cart.
Yeah, I know I kept my bag with me.
Yeah.
I probably would have. Actually, I'm still carrying probably, a bag that's, also got some special gear in it. I know that while you're making tea, maybe we could go find where it is that we're going to be staying. I was told that there's, like an area where we're all going to be sleeping and that we could put our things there. So, we probably should.
Yeah.
Set that down. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go back down into the hallway and start looking for a place where everyone is going to sleep.
Sure. As you've headed out, you're seeing Aaron kind of on the outside where all the cargo was, but still within earshot of the door. Leading out, the door to the galley is almost directly under the grate that leads to, or the hatch that leads to the upper decks. And you notice that there is kind of a fold ladder that creates a stairwell that leads up there as well. But it is currently closed. Looks like it is something that you might be able to open on your own. The only other, there's a few doorways back at the back of the boat that you haven't explored, but then there's also the one here at the bow, which is where Jeffrin had mentioned that the sleeping quarters would be.
I will open that door and see what we got.
All right. Opening it up, the bow of the ship, it comes to a nice point, and in here you can see the final of the 3 masts having come down and is being anchored to the base of the ship. And hanging off of both sides of the walls that are curving in, you can see latchings where hammocks have been hung. There's 2 on either side. You can see directly attached to both the bow and the mast is then a 5th that's kind of hanging in the middle. And then you can see directly to your left a 6th that is on the wall that creates this separation between the main space and this sleeping quarters. And that is the one that Andy is laying down in. You can see Chauncey kind of crouched directly beneath her, kind of taking care to lean his drill over to one side as to not damage the base of the boat. Andy is just laying there, his eyes open, staring up.
I'm just going to tiptoe by her and hopefully hope, that she gets a nap in at some point. And I'm going to, I'll take one on the opposite wall, and I will put my backpack and the big bag that has the remains of the creature that we wrapped and did the spell on, so he's not rotting or stinky or gross.
You can see beneath each of these hammocks is a small sort of net that looks like it's on a bit of line that you can tighten up to create almost a mesh footlocker that's beneath each of these, a place for you to store some belongings if you'd like.
Perfect, I will do that. I will take one, and I will put all my things in there, and I'll keep my pack with my religion kit and my bones and a couple of other things on me, but like my sleeping bag and travel gear and the rotting carcass.
That one's fairly hefty.
Yeah,
As
rotting
one
but
does.
not stinky. Put it away, and that way it's a little bit easier to move around.
All right.
I think I'll claim the hammock suspended between the mast and
Sure, as you follow
bow.
Dwathy in, that leaves 3 open hammocks.
Picking the one next to Dwathy's, nearest to Dwathy's.
Yeah, I think we're the ones on the opposite walls from.
Mhm.
There we go. Okay.
And I'm still in the galley prepping the tea
Yep.
with my
At this
bag
point,
just
your-
kind of tucked against
Your
the
water
wall.
is beginning to boil as the you're able to you have prestidigitation, right? Yeah, you were able to light the fire quite quickly and get it
Speed
going.
along.
Your water has boiled, and now the leaves that you've strewn about the pot are steeping into it.
I'm going to get up in the hammock and sort of sit in it. But then I'm also then going to probably leave, because again I want I'll sit in it and kick my feet back and forth a few times, but then I'm going to leave because I want to go down the
Sure.
It's quiet, and I'm just gonna tiptoe back.
As you're sitting in it, you can see that the hammock that Aaron has picked is kind of swinging ever so slightly, and as you get in yours, you feel it doesn't quite swing because due to the ever so slight tilt of the boat, you're basically just resting against the hull of the ship. But it is surprisingly comfortable. It's that sense of when the floor is just this is nice, but it is. As you lay there and feel where you are, it's just that sense of your entire world is ever so slightly off balance, and so because of that, having something to lean against gives you that sense of security.
And sort of pet the boat a little bit and then head back towards the galley and. Alright, maybe if the tea is ready, we could go sit on the deck of the boat, so we can see everything.
Just a minute here. It's I could have just heated the water directly with magic, but there's something, I don't know if the taste is different or if it's just the process, the ritual of it all. But tea takes time, so just give it a couple minutes. Yeah.
I'm in no hurry.
We'll
I did
Be
pour an
up
extra cup for Jethrin. It's just got to steep. It's not ready.
We'll be up on deck.
All right. Well, I'll need some help.
Oh, no,
Oh.
I'll wait here and help. We can wait alone.
Yeah,
Take
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple of moments, and then once it's ready, we can all go sit on the boat and watch everything.
I suppose I should stash my pack. Will you just make sure? I don't know what could happen to the tea, but don't let
Yes.
anything happen. It's very vital.
We will be very careful.
I'm not switching back to local. Okay.
Wouldn't dare.
Thank you. I'll go quickly stash the pack.
Stare at the cup of tea just in case. I don't know. So it sounds like something dramatic might happen to it, like this explosive tea.
There's steam just raising off of it.
Mm-hmm. On the way back out, after just seeing whichever hammock didn't have stuff at it,
Mhm.
just toss it aside, and on the way out the door, just Andy, the tea might help. I can make you a cup if you're feeling like it. But we'll leave you be for now.
Without looking over, he says, "Thank you. That sounds good."
Good boy, Chauncey. You take care of her. And I'll go back to see if the tea is ready, or if anything tragic happens.
Tragically, nothing tragic has happened to the team. Yeah, you are all good. You are able to find, there's a few wooden carved mugs that, no handles of any sorts, but they have a wide base to them that kind of, they almost look like a strange, strangely shaped wooden mountain that just is resting there. But you're able to, yeah, you're able to procure enough of them to.
This'll do. Yeah.
I'll hold out my hands and
Yeah.
grab a couple to help.
One for each, and one for Jethrin.
I'll take the one for Jethrin. That way you have the hands for, everything else.
Is it rude not to bring one for the captain? I don't know.
I can bring the captain one if there's enough
Sure,
mugs.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
sure we
summon
can-
Mage Hand to just grab an extra cup of tea.
Just put it in the mage hand.
Yeah.
I suppose that would work.
Should we also bring one for the other gentleman, Hutch?
Hutch,
Is there enough mugs
might
for
as well.
the
Right.
captain and Hutch and
2,
Jethrin and
4,
all of us?
7.
The mugs do seem to be running low.
Alright. Okay. And then I'm going to go up to the deck of the boat, and I will go find. Actually, no. I should definitely help you, but you made the tea, so you should give it.
We
to
should go.
Jethrin.
Let's go together.
Okay.
It's,
Do we see Claudine down here anywhere?
No, you haven't seen Claudine.
She's in
Suspicious.
the box.
No.
The box marked scraps.
Oh no.
Claudine!
Just sleeping. Yeah, top side. Let's go.
Right.
You have me, Cloud.
Right on the back up. Now with tea.
We can go find Jeffrin, and go get him the cup of tea.
Sure. Heading up on deck, you actually catch Jeffrin right as he is beginning to. He seems to be coming towards one of the doors. Oh, hello.
So Finn made you this very nice cup of tea because you've been so very helpful and we're making tea. So here you go.
You really have just made yourselves right at home, and I appreciate it.
The galley had a sign on it.
It does, yes. That is. It's a good way of finding where you're going.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Well, I'm about to be getting the first meal of the trip ready. So I thank you for that, and I'll go ahead and have that while I prepare the food then.
Oh, I'm so
Enjoy
excited.
it.
What are we going to have for the first meal here today?
Well, it'll be a surprise then, won't it?
Oh my gosh. I'm so
Nothing
excited.
special. It's probably a soup with something starchy and some vegetables.
That sounds incredibly
Delicious.
special. It is the meal we'll be eating here. You are making it
It is
for
simple,
us.
it is fast, and it is filling.
I love all of those things.
And it's also very cheap.
All right.
I respect that.
Well, enjoy the tea. You let me know what you think when we How long will it take before we should come on down?
Oh, there'll be a bell.
Oh, a little taste of home. This is nice.
Well, after you all, it's narrow stairs.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well,
I'm gonna sit.
Thank you, thank you. And as you all pass by, he heads down below.
I'm going to go and sit somewhere near the logs. That way I can sort of sit on one and like have a good view.
Climbing up onto the logs to get a view.
Yeah.
All right.
oh, logs.
Can't get away from them.
Now, most of them seem to have been cut down into fairly refined planks. So it is a lot easier, but there's no sort of roundings.
That's okay. I'm mostly looking for a nice, easy place to sit that is going to be out of the way and that is going to, give me a nice view.
Sure.
And also my friends don't have to sit on it too, so they can
All right. As you clamber up, you're able to sit down and picking the side that is opposite to the slight keel of the ship, you are kind of leaning back onto the logs, using the weight of gravity to kind of have you be a little cozy, and gives you a direct line where you can see both the water now beneath you and the river's edge far off. You're essentially sailing in the middle of the Conderflow here. You can feel the wind whipping around you.
And the Conderflow is pretty wide at this point, right?
Yes.
Very wide.
Yeah, it's okay.
I remember this coming up.
Yeah, it at this point you're looking at a minimum of probably a mile across.
How big is the lake at Melos Machina?
At Melos Machina, so Melos Machina
Yeah.
is not on the lake itself.
Right.
Venture is.
Okay.
And Venture, it's... Well, you're actually unsure, having not been there.
Not been there. Yes. There was, I believe, there was a body of water somewhere, like in the outer green
Oh,
belt,
yes,
where we would take our
Gotcha,
summers. I
gotcha.
don't know if it's a lake or because I haven't seen much.
Yeah,
of it.
no, the lake there is actually fairly reminiscent of this, but as opposed to where it just keeps going, it was more you could see all sides
Right.
from wherever you were, but there's definitely a length to it.
Yeah, I always thought lakes were bigger than rivers, but this is a big river.
You keep talking about that here today. Did you grow up near a lake or?
Oh, we called it a lake. I don't know if it was full scale or what, but there's little nature around the city of Melos Machina. It's still inside the walls, and until very recently, that was my only experience with nature. It's very different out here.
I imagine that there's, with as many people as it seems to be in Melos Machina, everywhere is where people are living. Like there's not lots of space for
This
not
is
people living.
very quiet compared.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to imagine the scale of Venture. I'm sure it will not be as big, but
Well, because it's only what the 50. You all were saying it was one of the first, right? One of the first.
frontier
cities?
towns, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's had the most time to develop.
But compared to Melos Machina,
In the
then,
middle.
Yeah.
I mean, Melos Machina was well established before the walls came in, and 500 years have passed, and the city hasn't had room to grow, but the people keep multiplying. So
Because Melos Manor is older than whatever the Melos Manor is very old.
very old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get out of this, right? Okay.
It'll still be a shock when you see it. Just like this boat is a shock to me, and the river being so big. You're not the only one who is blown away constantly by the new things.
That is so great for everyone to be able to experience all these new things.
Your enthusiasm, though, that is unique.
I try. Again, I'm very glad all of you find it charming. Not everyone always finds it charming.
Who could not?
I could start a list.
It's still like mid-morning, right? We left rather early in the day.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you still have a
Okay.
good chunk of the day ahead of you.
I think
Oh,
just at some point, I think I would break away from the group and actually try and go and strike up a conversation with Captain Thielsen.
All right. Well, at any point you'd like to.
Does anyone care to introduce themselves to the captain with me?
sure.
Since there's so few of us, it might be worth it to be on a first-name basis. 7 days is quite a long time to be spending. It's going to have to be some FaceTime eventually.
Yeah.
Might as well make ourselves known and get to know our captain a little bit better, huh?
Of course. Lead the way.
I will stay here with my tea for a little bit so we don't all just go, hello, in the middle of him working.
I think I'll
But
stay as well. I agree. 7 days is plenty of time to make introductions and
I think you're probably right. It is good to say hi. So, but yeah, that will overwhelm. I'll stay here.
Polished boots tracking across the deck of the ship. I will ascend the stairs up to the prow.
As soon as you step up the stairs, you can see the man there. A tall, slender elven man, fair skin, and similar blonde hair to Jeffrin that has been tied back into a little bit of a ponytail, and you can see the edges have silvered slightly.
Okay.
And he looks down and says, "Hello,
Greetings, Captain.
welcome aboard."
Wonderful to see this beautiful ship in motion. We are your wonderful, humble guests for this trip. We wanted to come introduce ourselves. My name is Aaron Kiedrithrin. This
pleasure.
here is Aiken. Well, should you have any need of our services throughout the trip, please call on us. If you don't mind me saying, Aiken, we're both rather seasoned and experienced in our time in various regards, so...
That is an incredibly generous offer, and I thank you for it. Consider yourselves, please, guests on board the ship, as he's speaking, just hands-on, and essentially making good eye contact with you, not really having to pay much attention to the direction of the ship. It appears as though he's mostly doing this by feel. Should there be any need, I don't foresee having to call upon any help. Relax. You are here as my guests. Well, I say as my guests. You're here guests aboard the Lock Jumper. I'm simply here to ferry you as to where you're going.
Right, not much of a choice, right?
What takes you into the center of the continent?
Exploration, mostly.
It's a good reason.
Yeah, most of us have, only first met in River's Meet, and now we have eyes on, the rest of this wonderful landscape out here, so...
Well, you will be seeing some absolutely stunning views on the way.
Sure.
Especially as we get closer into Gladen. It is quite lovely.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. I think some of us are headed to Saros Manor after Venture.
Ooh, a
but-
long trip.
Yes. It's, I don't think many of the folks are quite ready for how long it's going to take, but it's also fairly nice, beautiful.
Of course, well, however long it takes, the journey there is well worth it.
Of course. How long have you been sailing?
I've been doing this for the better part of 40 years now.
40?
Yes.
Wow. So early after.
I took to
everything.
it quick, yes. At first, it was just little boats up and down here in Venture, but quickly evolved into what you see here.
Of course. Do you work for the Plavertons or are you
No,
independent?
Independent contractor.
Awesome. Are you from one of the major cities?
Oh, we all
Prior.
are, yes.
With all due respect to your crew, Captain, has word of the Fairbanks reached Venture? Are you familiar with the tragedy that struck?
It was reported to me as to having to come down to Rivers Meet specifically to pick up. It's the whole reason that we made that trip. So,
With all due respect, have you any conjecture on as to the fate of that ship?
accidents happen all the time. I was told to come down because the Fairbanks had been damaged and was in need of desperate repair. That's what I was told, and
Yeah. Ran aground, right?
yes, something
right there.
like that.
So, yeah, that's actually where we met.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it was quite a chaotic morning.
Yes. Out of just curiosity again to maritime operations,
Hmm.
if accidents happen, or if important persons or cargo is transported from Venture to Riversmeet, would any type of additional security or manpower be staffed or included on a trip like that?
It's not unheard of.
Okay. I only know that some of these areas in here can be tumultuous, and
Luckily for us, this passage here tends to go rather smoothly.
Okay.
It's been some years since we've had any sort of incident, at least as far as wild animals are concerned.
I see.
But hmm?
You say wild animals.
Mhm.
Are there a problem with domestic ones? Like a mad cow or something?
No, nothing of those sorts. Since the fields have been pushed back, we've had fewer and fewer problems.
Understandable.
It's good.
Yes.
Luckily, this far into the river, I'm sure you don't get that many spiders.
Can't say that I've had to deal with that, no.
Lucky.
That's a long jumping spider. Right.
Well, we'll leave you to it. Are there any notable landmarks or anything that we should keep an eye out?
Not from here to Gladen. I mean, there's the beautiful rolling hills eventually, but no, we do have. You're staying with us after Gladen. There are some ruins off to the side, but it's a old, overtaken. That's pretty much it.
Well, and forgive me, I haven't been out this far before, so I know the prowling fields have been pushed pretty far. In relation to where we are now, is it pretty much clear these
We're
days?
safe.
Yeah, between here and Venture, of course.
We're going to be spending quite a number of evenings and days. So if there's any entertainment or opportunities for us to expand the experience beyond simply sailing and staring at the horizon, please alert us. We would be happy to make this a joyous time for all involved.
And I appreciate this is. I do this. Obviously I do this for the pay, but I do this for this as well. The trip.
I mean, you'd have to love it for 40 years, right?
Absolutely. So please do not feel any need to entertain. Do not feel any need to work. You are here as passengers. I just ask that you don't cause any trouble. And should anything happen, just we'll let you know.
Understood. We appreciate your time. We'll let you get back to work. And
That was Aaron, you said, and Aiken?
Yes.
It's an absolute pleasure. I'm Captain Vilthuna, and if you need me, let me know.
Is that your surname or your first name?
This is my surname, yes.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Just, we were told Tealston, and I wasn't sure if you're Tealston Vilthuna or if that's your given.
Jeffrin tell you that?
Yeah.
Yep. He's a good worker, but he is still learning etiquette. My son.
I was wondering, your hair looks very similar. That's wonderful. So it's a family business, kind of?
Very much. He's taken to it.
Oh, that's lovely. Hutch, is Hutch yours or?
Well, he's not mine, but
Well.
yes, he is. I have worked with him often.
Wonderful. Is Claudine Mrs. Vilthuna?
No, no. You can see there's a moment. For the most part, he's jovial for an elf, though you can see a distinct level of calm beneath it. And there is a moment where that almost a twinge of
okay.
Claudine is here as
She's nice and all.
she's here to make sure that payment and money and trading, she does that end of things.
Sorry if I assumed anything.
No, it is fine. She is lovely in her own way.
She was very nice. Yes.
You were paying her, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why she was nice.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I feel a little embarrassed now, but
Please don't be.
thank you for your hospitality. It's amazing to be here on this adventure. So I know Duathi over yonder.
As it looks down and sees you pointing to Duathi.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very
Feet are
excited.
kicking a little bit.
First time?
Oh, I mean, it's the first time for most of us, but
Oh,
this
that's
is, there's a lot of firsts for her, and it's pretty exciting to see everything through her eyes. So, yeah, if you ever get a chance to talk to her, it will be unforgettable. So,
Well, all right.
yeah.
Good afternoon, Captain. Thank you.
Afternoon.
Do we salute you?
Oh no, heavens
Okay.
no! Please,
Okay.
just again, it is a position of authority, but I am.
I'm just used to saluting a captain. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The military man.
Guard, you know, so there is a very structured hierarchy.
Well,
There.
Jason, one hand off.
Oh, well, thanks.
I'll start to retreat down the staircase, and as we get to the bottom of the staircase, I'll pull Aiken aside. Aiken, I'm so sorry. I've forgotten your last name. I feel incredibly embarrassed.
Ooh, now I'm not sure I want to give it to you.
No, but you mentioned it. Now it's bugging me that I cannot recall.
Oh, that is a big bummer, Aaron.
It starts with an F.
Does it? It's Liss.
Bliss! I was going to say Furlies, but I did not want to trip over my own tongue.
No, it's Aiken Liss. Yes.
Apologies.
It is fine. I mean, maybe I can just have a new last name.
No. Please. I shall mark it here from now on. Never forget it.
Well, if you do.
You served in the guard in Sarah's Main?
Yeah.
As did I.
Where?
In the city proper.
I mean, I was a little bit more on the outskirts, I guess, but I didn't serve for very long.
Oh,
Yeah, just a few years before my family left.
I see.
So,
I see.
yeah, I was thinking about spending longer, but, you
Is
know.
that where you've gained your martial prowess?
Yes,
I see.
yeah, and now at home, I kind of serve as a makeshift town guard. We don't really need it, but
But
old
you
habits die hard.
utilize your training and knowledge to the best of your abilities. I understand. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm out here,
Yeah.
so hopefully keeping all of you safe. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
of course. No. How long did you serve?
Only a few years. Enough to garner the training and education that it brought with it, but it wasn't entirely for me. Not all aspects were for me.
Was it a family thing, or?
No, to be honest, I found myself a little bored spending time with family. Found reasons to explore and experience more of the city, and the town guard was an opportunity to, well, experience more than I had ever seen before. So, but it was more or less an experience that I sought after, but left it soon after. Too much time had passed.
Did you enjoy it?
Some elements, yes. Some elements were unpleasant.
Forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
You're very good with your rapier. This is gonna come across really rude. You seem kind of like a fancy man to be doing a job like that. So I'm sorry for assuming. I guess I could have left that unsaid, but
Oh, the guard's training was, well, in essence, to one slice of piquing my curiosity at life, but also, yes, garnering and gaining skills that could aid me in all, and for anything that comes across my ways after the walls had opened. I did receive some privatized additional training on my family's estate after, and was introduced slightly before, so I've had some additional lessons and tutoring, but nothing to consider myself a soldier.
Have you returned within earshot of Dwathi and myself yet?
Probably, yeah. I think
it's a 100-foot boat.
yeah, I meant the last name thing I kind of kept private, but after that, if the conversation turned more general, I would have probably, spoken in a louder voice.
Yeah.
It appears the three of us might have more in common than I initially assumed. Doesn't surprise me at all that you're of the guard, and doesn't surprise me at all that you left the guard.
You were not telling me that you were part of the guard.
Oh, no, very much. They made it very clear I would not be part of the guard, much to my father's chagrin. And as far as fancy men go, I don't know what it was like in your time, but many of the politicians come out of the guard, and that is what was supposed to be my place in the order before the guard said I had no place with them. So,
No offense. Having seen you go down a couple of times, I like the more book side of you and the magic-y side of you.
me too. It's well, let's just say I didn't apply myself. It was not a lack of skill or anything other than I'd just much rather be writing and not wrestling in the dirt with a bunch of adolescent boys. It's prep school was not a good place for me.
Well, maybe we can train you to use a sword someday.
Sure.
We'll start lightweight, probably.
Like a dagger. Right?
A very tiny sword, yes.
Is it that your father doesn't want you to be a politician?
Well, I mean, certainly that's what he does. That's what his father did. It's a long tradition in our family.
That's right. You've said what your father does. He's part of a council?
I suppose, yes. He's a counselor, and so
He's a counselor
on the council.
on the council.
Yeah, it's a large organization. They oversee the intricacies of the order behind the scenes, pulling the strings, ensuring the city stays healthy and trade remains strong.
Okay.
Would I be familiar with the council that Finn's referring to, GM?
You do, yes. So, The full council that sort of oversees the governing body of the cities of Jaldek are the it's referred to as the Voltian Council. And it is it's the highest group of politicians, though the numbers are rather large. Within that, there is there's the greater Voltian Council, and then there is the Voltian Council, which is the more elect rulers of each of the major cities, who create. Actually, give me a history to see how far into this I go.
Sure.
Also, hi Z.
I see.
Bring you a quick up to speed. You're on a boat.
Yes.
Don't say.
And Andy has very quickly decided to go down below and is currently laying down in a cot, staring at the ceiling,
I love
not
that.
imagining, doing their best to imagine not all of the
being
water
on
that is
a-
everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, based on where you all are on this boat, you are actually able to hear the snippets of this conversation through the floor planks of the deck.
Oh.
It's actually, it worked out rather nicely. So well done, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Some purpose,
Found a
for
really
sure.
good spot. You know.
Johnsy is directly beneath you. And
It's a
Yes.
7.
a 7.
On my history.
That's pretty much your main knowledge of it.
Okay.
That it is the greater ruling or governing body of Jowdek.
Okay.
But they do act as the civil counselors to the Melos, the order of the Melos.
Okay.
So you left the order, Aaron?
My family worked for the order. They never were officially members of it.
Right. But you're stationed as a guard? Short-lived?
Yeah. Again, there was a period in my life where I found myself seeking to test my abilities and skills and apply all the education I'd received in my family's estate for years and years and years. So I found myself working numerous jobs and trades just to live life beyond my homestead. So the guard served a purpose for a moment, and then I moved on the way one moves from one meal to the next throughout the day. But
Can Inside check. That'll be 15.
17. You actually see a glint of nostalgia come across my face as I reflect on a Rolodex of experiences. He's 250 years old. He's been around and seen some things.
Yeah.
But yes, eventually my curiosities brought me beyond the walls itself, and much like Icon, wanted to venture further.
I think we have at least that still in common.
Yeah.
And your family's business, their estate, what brought them into prominence?
Well, they're retired now. They did quite important work on the... Forgive me, they don't talk too much about the exact nature of their work, but they worked on the arcane security of the railways.
Very interesting.
Yes, they were quite important to the security and development of its arcane stabilization, and worked hand in hand with the members of the Order who install its construction. We were rewarded handsomely for their work and their risk-taking in that endeavor, and retired off their endeavors.
And your family name, you said Kierdrithrin?
Kierdrithrin. 3 syllables, please.
Kierdrithrin, yes, yes. Does that ring a bell?
You can also give me a history check.
Getting to know one another.
I know.
Soft 20.
Soft 20. You do. The family name Kiedrithrin, it's not sparking any immediate I know of this, but other things that Aaron has been mentioning are definitely churning. You do recall that in the history of Jiaodek, especially during the enclosed age, right when the walls opened, there was a movement for getting the rails fixed. So it was, and it was dangerous work, and a lot of people who did this work were well paid, but ranged from really highly skilled magic users, craftsmen, but also a selection of people who were just workers. With a soft 20, there were a lot of people who helped to bring the rails back. A lot of them aren't around anymore.
Sure.
Say maybe half of them. Again, it was dangerous work, and there's a reason they were paid well.
Well, sounds like your parents did important work.
Yes, they're reluctant to reflect on it, to be quite honest. It's hard, I'm hard pressed often to talk to them about their experiences. Perhaps that's where I get my cagey indulgences from. But yes, I'm eternally grateful for the work and the sacrifices that they made to secure the greater transportation that we have throughout the continent. And much to my admission, I am a benefactor of their endeavors. So, yes, I am a bit of a fancy man because of them, but I do not take that for granted. Please, I'm not born of my parents' wealth. I understand where hard work comes in and is needed. So,
Well, and they seem to have taught you well.
thank you.
A little bit of that hard work definitely passed along, and that magic ability.
I was gonna ask if they taught you your magic.
You mentioned your mother.
Yes, it was not always around. In fact, it's actually a very recent tutelage, which is why, forgive me, my skills seem so rudimentary compared to yours, because I only recently learned of their arcane abilities. They kept their talents very secret from me for almost my entire life.
Why would they do that, I wonder? Is it...
Perhaps there is some trauma associated with it from what they endured. Perhaps they... forgive me, I'm theorizing here, but perhaps they think it dangerous. I don't know.
Perhaps they think someone else might have thought it dangerous before.
What they did share with me was rudimentary to their everyday survival while working. So the skills that I have learned and been able to grasp so far are simple. You know, messaging one another across the distance. You being able to protect yourself from a bombardment of falling objects, or albeit nefarious creatures that should attack you while working with simple things. So
Simple, yet life-saving.
precisely utilitarian, if I might put a word to it. But no, if so, my practice is just skating the surface, and it is something that I am also pondering on how deep I want to dive into that education of my own. So,
Sure. Very interesting. If we ever do make it back to Melos Machina, I'd very much like to meet your parents if they wouldn't mind some company.
I think they would. Yes, they would like some company. The rest of the staff has been quite eager to bring in new blood.
That's right. You grew up in one of those big houses. It's kind of like the one that the overseer lived in.
Yes, we also had those attending on us.
Well,
It's not normal. Or, I mean, well, sorry, no, it's not common. That's what I mean.
Like a normal mood.
While everyone has kind of been getting to know each other, Andy is slowly breathing but feeling left out. So I'm gonna kind of come up and join everyone.
Hello, Andy.
Hi.
Would you like to sit on this? I'm sitting on the. There's a bunch of wood that's like been thrown.
Finn had left, and had told you this, left a mug of tea for you in the galley. So
Thank you.
you were able to bring it back up.
It might be
It
a
is
little-
still warm.
A little cold. Well, just to make it nice and fresh, and I'll prestidigitation on
And that
the.
was piping hot.
Very sweet. Thank you.
Should help settle your stomach a little bit.
Thank you. You know, being on a boat for this long is very new and different for me, so
We still got about 6 days and another
you know,
18 hours-ish. So,
slowly getting used to it.
yeah, we will get a chance to stretch our legs and get off in 3 more
Yes.
days' time.
That will be great.
And Aaron was just telling us about his family.
I know, I
So
was
can.
hearing, so I you know, wanted to join.
Oh, actually, while we are talking about family, I had a question for you. Everyone else said that you had ridden on a train.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, because we were just talking about the train.
I
'cause
know.
Aaron's family worked on the train.
No, that's so cool.
Yeah, and you've been on the train.
I have. It was, once. It was pretty incredible. I don't really know how else to describe it. It was
I was
amazing.
saying it floats.
Yeah.
Was it less bumpy than the boat?
Oh, yeah. Much less.
Hypothesis confirmed.
Yeah. Yeah. Bumpy in a different way, but yeah,
Going
not the.
Right. Yeah, don't think about it.
Yeah.
Why were you on the train?
To get, well, not exactly from where I'm from. I had to travel a bit, but to get to the Atergog where we studied. Yeah, I had to take the train to Melos Machina. Yeah.
And did you grow up in a big house like those? two
No,
did,
I
or-
absolutely did not.
That's why I was saying it's not common.
Right. No, we had a fairly small place that was connected to the smith
Oh,
that my dad ran, and I helped him kind of slowly build on it so me and my sisters could have room.
are all of your siblings sisters?
Yeah.
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 And I forget how many sisters? There
There's
was
4. I'm the
four.
5th.
And you're there's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the youngest. We were in the same brood. I was just born last.
Oh, you're.
I hatched, I guess, is the better way to describe it.
How much, like, minutes passed?
Oh,
Or
no, like a couple days.
Oh.
took your time?
Yeah.
I understand
was
why you
late.
sleep in now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like rest. Yeah, so I was always the wee one. Even though we're pretty much the same.
Siblings will.
Yeah,
Do anything
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they share your technological curiosities?
No.
Oh.
No. That was just me. Yeah, I worked with my dad and I don't know, just kind of developed an interest as I was collecting scraps and stuff for him to use. Yeah.
So many big families, but like, except for you did not have any siblings. Aaron, I forget, did you?
No. Also an only child.
I've always wanted a sibling. I'm sure it wasn't all it was cracked up to be, but can get lonely.
You know, there are nice things about it.
There's not a lot of quiet.
No. Nope. Definitely not.
Not in my house either, for that.
Mm-mm.
No.
And you two have how many brothers, sisters?
I had 2 brothers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And I can.
Well, I'm the oldest of 7.
Oh,
So.
You did mention
Yeah.
that.
So many
Yeah.
siblings.
Yes. Hence the not so quiet parts. But
Well, if you want 2 more brothers, Dwarfy, might be looking for an adoptive sister.
I mean, this is sort of becoming a funny little family, I guess, a little bit while we're traveling together.
It feels more like family than anything I've experienced in years. So
Yeah. Although neither of you remind me of my brothers all that much. So.
that's fair.
But they also carry sticks.
No. They did, they were more, the kind carrying spears, more like I can.
I
Mm.
understand.
So I guess it's kind of a stick, but you know, no, they were, they both worked as hunters, I guess, which is sort of kind of like, it's based on what you have described, sort of like what you did, you know, keep us all safe.
yeah. More so after leaving the city. There's not a lot of hunting in Saros Manor, but
No.
Yeah, definitely. I think we did more hunting.
Yeah.
And I think you probably did.
Which point breaking through you hear? Ding ding, ding ding, ding ding.
Oh, that's the food.
Oh, I was gonna say, what does that mean?
Looking back, you can see underneath the small porch-like area where all of the doors are, there is a bell beneath which Jeffrin is standing. Well, that's lunch, I suppose.
woo!
Okay.
I am hungry.
Me too. But at least hungry.
And as you all head downstairs to grab your meal, that is where we're going to take our break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. See you soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope that you enjoyed your break. Oh, my water. Crap.
Well,
One of us can
Is
walk
this
it.
in the kitchen?
No, this hydrating is very important. Don't
I
worry.
cast
about
Mage
it.
Hand?
Yeah.
No.
I'll be a water ghost.
Thank you, Emmy. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, today's episode is brought to you by hydration.
it's important.
Yeah, I
So necessary.
didn't hydrate as a kid, and I'm feeling that now. 30s are fun.
Oh, yeah.
Hope everyone liked cameo by my arm there.
Oh,
It's just a fade to black.
so, having come downstairs now, down below in the lock jumper, you see that the one room, well, one of the rooms that you had yet to explore, but that was against the diagonal wall that was on the way to the galley, has been open, and there is a large pot in the center of a large circular table, and you are being Jeffrin is beckoning you in, and it looks to be this room is roughly 15 by 20-ish feet, and it has the centerpiece of this room is the large table that is currently set as a meal space. You're each able to find a seat. Claudine joins you. She is last in. She takes a seat as Jeffrin begins doling out. As he has mentioned, this is somewhere between a soup and a stew. You can see chunks of potato in there, some leeks, and other greens. Well, that is lunch. There's seconds in the galley if you would like any. I'm gonna go take some to the hutch and the captain. So enjoy. If you need me, find me. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. He turns and leaves with a couple of bowls of this steaming stew.
Yeah, how is it?
It is warm. It is filling. The potatoes are somewhere where that first bite there is a little bit of crunch, but then they immediately just melt together. You do find bits of potato in there. Yeah, it is flavorful, but again simple. It's easy to make meal.
I ate very slowly in between sips of my tea.
I eat equitably and oppositely.
Actually, while we've been having all this time, would everyone give me just a quick con?
Oh,
con check.
gosh.
A check?
The soup is
So
poison.
Con save.
Betrayal.
Okay.
Oh,
I haven't tested
boy.
any of my dice.
Uh-oh.
I'll put it this way: since none of you have the sailor background, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then please
No.
make this check.
For science.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Mine rolled from a 20 to a 4 for a 6.
All right. 6,
12.
12,
12.
12,
5.
5,
17.
17. All right. As you're eating this meal, we're all like, all right, this is lovely, this is great. Finn, the motion of the boat is beginning to get to you ever
Yeah.
so slightly. You're not used to it.
Watching that soup slosh around. in the
That
bowl.
has kind of, it was the triggering factor. It tastes good, and you're not at that place where you're feeling sick, but you're beginning to feel like the back of your neck turn a little green.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's quite lovely. Claudine is there, sipping down on her food as well.
Which direction did she come from? Because I cannot figure out where she has been.
She came from the back.
She came from the back of the rooms we have not gone into. Okay. So, do you have your own room here on the boat, Claudine?
I do, yes.
Oh, how lovely.
Yes, it's it's not private, but I suppose for my current situation, you could call it that.
Okay.
Are you enjoying your trip so far?
It is really beautiful out here on the water. I've been having an amazing time. You all have a beautiful boat, and I am so happy to be here.
Well, it's not mine, but I'm. It is rather lovely, isn't it? And getting to see the countryside and all that.
Do you make this trip with them often to venture in Gladen?
I make trips all about. I've traveled with the captain before, Captain Vilthuna. Do any of you speak? How am I speaking? You all speak Elven.
Do you?
Except for
As Claudine says the captain's name again, all of you, it is an odd mash, but would loosely translate to wild walker or wild walk.
I know nothing.
You know the soup tastes good, and this Claudine is talking. I've made this trek with Captain Vilthuna before. Never. Well, I suppose I have been down to Riversmeet once before, but much like the captain, I go where I am needed.
Where else is that?
Well, wherever bookkeeping is needed, wherever fair trade is required, my job takes me all over.
Jeez. Do you spend much time in the cities?
The frontier towns mostly. I don't venture into the walled cities these days now.
I know the captain said that, the captain and their friend said that you were sort of a passenger then, so you sort of work for anyone who needs some, things counted?
You could say that. I am a member of the Silver Palm. I work for them.
Does
There's
that
a name we
ring any
have.
bells?
History checks all around.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Ding.
What checks?
History checks.
Oh my gosh.
Why now?
This although no, I'll just put
Why
this
not?
at a high DC. Trying to figure out who to give disadvantage to, but
Well,
it would be all of you.
I don't need disadvantage.
Silver
because-
palms.
a
Silver
natural
palm.
20 minus 1 for a 19.
Okay.
Yeah, I got.
Although,
I
really
got a
having not spent any
24.
time in frontier
Oh, wow.
Oh,
towns.
good.
Only
Yeah.
Grove and Upstrom. So
I got a 24.
You got a 24, and you are. This would actually apply to you.
Okay, great.
I rolled a nat 1 for a total of 7.
It's amazing.
And a 14.
14. Okay, and don't worry.
no.
She just said nouns.
Yes.
My name should be Jon Snow.
Finn, you're unfamiliar. And Aaron, the name, it sounds like it's come up, but
Yeah.
it's not something from the inner cities.
Okay.
Andy, you've actually had to deal with the Silver Palm before. The Silver Palm is essentially the merchant guild that rules over the frontier world. They deal with trade. They deal with, as she has put it, to make sure that fair deals are done. Typically, they send out representatives to be an arbiter of barter, of negotiations, and whenever two parties are trying to strike up a deal, especially if it's in their territory, a member of the Silver Palm is there to make sure it is fair, and also to take a cut.
Fancy notaries.
Okay.
Exactly,
It's
fancy
not-
notaries.
Fancy, it's somewhere between notary and accountant.
Okay.
And a broker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would like them generally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've never had any
issues with them.
whatsoever. It was
Okay.
very much, not every trade happens with Silver Palm. There's unsanctioned, but when it's big money, that's when they show up.
Okay. Cool. Yes, I know the Silver Palm very well.
Oh yes, we've been wheeling and dealing, and then have you?
A little, yeah, in a way.
Do you have a headquarters or a base of operations out of Venture? I can imagine that there's
Oh yes, Venture is our
quite need.
main territory. It is the hub of trade in the frontier.
I'm somewhat familiar with the Merchants Guild of the nature of the Silver Palm. It strikes me as, well, an opportunity of inquiry, Claudine. While we were in River's Meet, we were assigned to retrieve a rather important piece of the Overmaster's collection that had been lost in an accident at the dock. And, well, it seemed rather important. We were handsomely rewarded for retrieving a lost item on behalf of the Overseer. Does the Silver Palm keep a log of items trafficked between River's Meet and other cities?
Well,
Oh, Venture and other cities, forgive me.
it is not my place to discuss business, but I will tell you that we are quite thorough, and I will leave it at that.
I see.
Well, that is just fascinating. Wow.
Learning so much.
I guess if there's that many people, it makes sense that, you need to make sure things are taken care of, I guess.
Do you have an assignment after this one, once you return to Venture?
Oh, I'm sure that I will. This was, I'd rather not. This was supposed to be a vacation for me, but
Your last trip to River's Meet, was that a vacation or business as well?
oh, that was business. I typically wouldn't venture that far. I wasn't supposed to be going to River's Meet. I was just supposed to be taking a short trip down to Gladen, but then we...
Are you gonna stop there?
Oh,
Well, no, now I have to go back. Now, once we were redirected to head towards River's Meet, the fact that I was aboard and having to pick up the... Let's just say this was not my original plan, but I am
Sure.
making the most of it, and I am doing my job diligently.
We'll have one day in Gladen. You can, I'm sure, enjoy something. One of the activities.
No,
you
I
have
will be
planned.
working the entire time that we are at the dock.
Right. Yes, new passengers or...
Whatever is there. I'm sure there will be trades. I'm sure that whether or not we take on new passengers, offload any of this cargo.
Well, we intend to try to make it into town if you'd like us to pick you up a souvenir or...
Thank you for the offer.
Of course.
I hope you find some time to, relax and, take in the view and enjoy everything, though.
See, that is the souvenir that I want most. So if you can bring me back, I don't know, a day off, that would be lovely.
When I
I
figure out
wish.
how...
Maybe. Is there much industry in Gladen?
It's mostly farms.
Mostly farms. Okay. Just seems if it's a stop to resupply, just seems like all of the towns out here have some sort of specialty.
They exist, I think, is enough of a specialty for most of us out here.
Makes sense.
At least that's how it was.
How is it now?
Depending on the town that you're from, you're not just existing, you're thriving. And I think that Venture is a good representation of that.
So I hear. Well, interesting. You're from Venture, or did you
Yes.
come...
No,
yes.
born and raised.
Excellent.
Oh.
Is she human?
She looks it.
Is she human?
Oh, she's a spider.
Inside check.
They are everywhere.
Oh boy, the spiders
Why
got smart.
Trust no one.
Their grabby little legs all over the money. And
No.
She pulls out a syringe.
Betrayal!
Yeah, that's what I want to do on a boat.
Betrayal?
No.
It's called mutiny, sir.
Mutant?
Hey.
Anyway,
Yeah, sorry that you have to be at work now.
it's my job, and I'm good at it.
And I guess there are worse jobs.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get seconds of the stew.
Do you want mine? I'm not going to finish this.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, very. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the idea of food was really great. And I thought I was hungry, and I think I might have just been nauseous.
I still have some baguettes that are probably stale. If that will probably go down easier. Maybe I'll dip in, but no, I don't want the stew.
Okay. Okay, only if you're sure though, because I know that eating sometimes makes it feel better. Would it be better if you were up on the top of the boat? Or on
Probably,
the bottom?
but
It seems to feel a little bit less foofy.
no, I'm okay. I'm okay. I just don't want to put that inside my belly.
Okay, well, I will not let the food go to waste.
You can always count on that.
If I
I
have
checked in to make
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
and you have said that you don't want it, so I'm going to eat it.
Well,
Okay. Once I'm done, I will say, well, thank you so much, Claudine, for telling us more about, yourself and what you do. And if you need anything, let me know. But I hope you enjoy any of your trip. And then I will sit on my boat, and then I'm going to go continue to watch the water a bit. Actually, I'll turn back around. Really quickly, Claudine, with all of your travels or anything, or maybe this would be a better question for the captain, you wouldn't happen to have, like, a map?
Oh, no.
Okay. Do you think the captain has a map?
Maybe?
Okay. I might go ask him if he... Or I'll ask Jeffrin, because Jeffrin will probably... I don't want to bother the person steering,
He was very, very kind.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. I did tell him about you. So.
Oh, why?
Well, because you're new, and I said that you are unforgettable to speak to.
Oh,
So.
you speak so kindly of me.
Well, it's true.
it is.
Okay. Turn a little pink.
No.
Okay. I'll go ask him about the map then. Hello.
Oh, as you leave the dining area to head up on deck, rest of you staying there to enjoy food or not. Duathi, as you get above deck, you can see the ship is still moving at a very nice pace. You're not feeling a heavy gust of wind, but just enough that the sails seem to be nicely filled.
Okay.
Looking to the stern, you can see that Jeffrin is actually at the helm.
Oh, well, that works too because he is there and I know him. So I will go up to Jeffrin. Hello, Jeffrin.
Hello.
Hello. I had a quick question for you if you have a moment. If you are too busy doing whatever it is you are doing, no, I do not want to interrupt.
No, not at all. I'm just, keeping a course.
Oh, okay. I was just curious if you or the captain had maybe a map, maybe of the rivers.
Sort of. It's it's one big river. There's not a lot of. The map's pretty much just a line.
Oh, okay. Do you have any other maps, maybe, as people who explore and things?
No, we don't really have anything along those lines.
Oh, okay.
You can see, though not there originally, compared to the captain, he is more focused ahead and trying to talk to you while definitely focusing on being at the helm.
I don't want to interrupt your work too
No,
much.
it's all right. I'm just, want to make sure we're on.
Do you think that there will maybe be maps of, like, maybe this area along the Condor Flow, or maybe more specifically the Mist Stream in Venture?
I don't. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked that much into it.
Okay.
Yeah, all of my work is on the river, and so it's hard to get lost.
Fair enough. It sort of goes one direction, right? This one doesn't.
branch off into too many other things.
No,
right?
there are obviously small connections that lead up to the larger river, but either most of the boats that we pilot don't fit, or there's no real reason to go.
Do you pilot more than just this boat?
Yes, whichever one we're hired for at the time.
Oh, right. I remembered this. They said this boat had multiple captains. I remember. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jeffrey. You were very helpful.
Of course.
Thank you. And then-
How was the food?
Oh, it was so good. Oh my goodness gracious.
wonderful.
You made a very delicious stew. It was very filling, exactly like you said.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad that you enjoyed.
Of course, thank you for feeding us. That's a very important job.
It is. It absolutely is.
And now you're doing another very important job because you are very important, doing important things.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Just doing my job. I don't know.
But this is very important. You are taking us, from one town to another, and everyone talks about, how dangerous it is out here and how very new it is. And you are obviously, you're concentrating very hard, and I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you. So thank you.
You can see sort of red starts to flush up on his cheek. Like, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Here, I will let you get back to it. But thank you so much for giving the information. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you.
And then I'm going to go back and sit on the planks of wood and sort of stare.
These pep talks.
The purest person that has ever existed. Just makes everyone feel special.
Oh, goodness. I'm gonna go upstairs too and maybe stand next to the railing for a little bit.
All right. Hopefully I don't have to join you, but I may be up
I think I'll be fine.
shortly.
Just a little weak in the knees.
Laying
feeling.
How are you?
down
Yeah.
helped.
Good.
a
I think I
lot.
just needed to not look at the stew anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. I mean, I might just go up, see how looking at the water goes.
It is beautiful.
It's pretty. I just, I don't want to be in it.
If everything goes well, I don't think we'll
I
be in
know.
it. Yeah.
I have to get over that. At which, then staring at it might help.
I won't push you in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would.
I wouldn't. I would also catch you if you
Okay.
nearly fall.
Thank you.
So. I've been saying some weird things today. I am
I
so
was
sorry.
gonna say if I didn't know you, I'd think that you were going to push me over.
No,
But-
Aaron. This is as we're walking. Aaron forgot my last name, and it put me in a very mischievous mood.
You're feeling sassy today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I think
Okay.
it's the breeze. I don't know. It's just
No, it's fine.
yeah.
It's just like the way you said it made it sound suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I also didn't. I called them like not normal.
Well, I think everybody knew what you meant.
I think I kind of meant that too.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. In a way, it's not normal. Are you guys with us? Sorry.
No.
Okay.
Just walking behind
Give you that, give you that
Sorry,
space.
guys.
I've wandered off.
Right here. We're just
What
standing in the elevator.
God. No, it's not. It's not how most people live. Therefore, not normal. But
Yeah.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
I know the sentiment behind it. So
I'm just not used to spending a lot of time with people who've had money.
I don't think until I got to the Atergog, I didn't know anyone with money.
No.
Yeah.
And now, like, that dinner that we had was
So
amazing,
fancy.
but also, is that just what they do?
I
All the time?
don't know, to be honest.
I don't know. But I do know that the view up here is much better than down there.
As you are looking out over the water, Duathi, as you are leaning on the wood planks, you feel the boat catch a little bit more as it's pushed into the wind. And with that, the keel hits a little tippier as Duathi, you feel yourself get pulled back. Looking up, you see Jeffrin, who's kind of purposefully pushed into the wind, is now redirecting course and gives a smile.
You're still doing so great. I imagine that's part of being on the boat.
I'm like, were we holding on to something? I
No,
may
it's
have
more of
fallen over.
just a slight
Little rock.
Okay,
push,
if
but
my
something
feet
you're-
weren't so big, I may have fallen over. And I have my tail at least to hold me up a teensy bit.
I would like to take a quick second as I'm looking around and sort of look to see if there are any creatures that I can see in the water.
Sure, give me a perception.
15.
Looking down in the water, it's moving at a nice, decent pace. But you see mostly just water and bits of the wake pushing against the side of the boat. But as you keep staring, every so often you see some fish that have turned and are swimming alongside the boat, kind of keeping pace with it before they go away.
I will try really hard to remember what they look like.
As we all disperse, I kind of want to do that thing where I want to go look like I'm just looking around at the boat, but I really want to see what Hutch is up to. And just kind of do like the 20-foot like. Just see what's going on.
Just being a creeper.
Yeah. I really want. I want to try and creep on Hutch.
Sure. As you come above deck and are looking about for him, it's pretty easy to spot. Right now, Hutch is seated on the bow. His back to the bow, so he's kind of seated on the wood and facing the rest of the boat, and he's got a bowl of the soup, and he's just chowing down.
Does it look like he wants to be by himself, or is he just kind of seems to have found an isolated place? Like, can I get a read of like, oh, I'm purposefully like.
He's
eating-
he's not like
hunched
over like there. But
Yeah.
he's he's definitely away from everyone, and from everything that you've seen so far, he does his job and he does it well and efficiently. And then this is the first time you've seen him not working.
Sure. I think I'll wander over and just politely be, walk up.
How's the trip going for you?
Calm as can be.
Glad to hear.
Care for a game of cards?
Not while I'm at work. Sorry. I'll play when the trip's done.
Inventure then?
Hmm.
Inventure?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Where should we go to play cards?
As you've approached and you've looked at him, you see him looking up. He has two large scars on the left side of his face, on his cheek. That one of them comes down and almost meets to the crook of his mouth. He is wearing a kind of loose pants with a nice light, medium-length top, leather jacket. But you can see resting on a leather vest, or as a jacket, with a hood attached to it, but it's off. And resting on his belt, you can see hanging a hand crossbow and a quiver with a bunch of bolts in it.
Okay.
I'm in my job's done adventure.
Just hired for to and fro?
Yep. That's how it goes.
Inside check. Let's figure out what's going on so far.
Sure.
Is he being as cagey as Aaron normally is?
That was a high bar.
creeps to each other.
It's a creep off. It's a creep off.
My job
Everybody
is
is a
creep.
creep off.
17.
17. All right. I mean, he's clearly being very short and to the point.
Okay.
But based on everything else that you've heard from the captain and the rest of the crew and how they essentially work from place to place, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary.
Okay. 7 days at sea, or at river.
Good way of putting it.
Just looking to buy the time. So, if you feel like blowing off a little steam and want to shuffle around, come find me.
I will keep that in mind.
What's the crossbow for?
Big critters.
Fair enough.
What's the rapier for?
Close critters. Okay, I'll just walk away. But I think from here on out, my attention will keenly be where's Hutch at all times.
All right.
As we're on like the prow, that's the front, right? Yes. Okay.
All of us
Boatman?
are so good
I'm
at
trying. I know that port
Scott.
is left. Okay.
boats. Scott, which way on the
Boatman,
boat?
tell us where boat places are.
No. Hey, boatman. So on the prow, I just want to start getting a sense of what's normal on the river and like the surrounding banks. I mean, I know they're far away. We're in the middle, so it's half a mile either direction.
Sure.
But I just want to start to get a sense of what normal is.
Of course. So as you walk up, it's around the time that Aaron's walking away, and you can see there's a moment, Hutch, of how's the trip going?
Oh, hey, it's going great. First time on a boat, so you work hard, it seems.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to bug you when you're probably on break. You've been working very hard.
Don't worry about it. He kind of stands up and
Okay.
starts walking.
With me?
No, he's he's
away.
yeah, he's walking now from the bow, kind of passing and heading towards the center of the boat. And you keep walking, or if you keep looking, he's walks and he goes under the covered section and opens up the door to the left and closes it.
Okay. That was...
Aaron's I'm shuffling the cards against the deck, and he's like, he's not very friendly.
What did you say to him?
I invited him to play a game of cards.
Okay.
To pass the time!
Okay.
But I understand he's working. Bit of a gruff fellow.
Yeah, you don't want to bother someone when they're on a break. Usually. I don't know. I mean, that was weird, though. I just wanted to go see what's going on. Anyways,
I won't think much of it.
yeah. That's gonna haunt me now. Why was that weird?
Yeah,
so
on
I'll
the
just
bow of the ship.
keep making my way.
You're there now.
Yeah.
That's where you met Hutch.
Oh, he was right there.
He was on the bow.
Weird. Yeah, so I'm just gonna scan and kind of see what the patterns of the water are like as we go, try to gauge the patterns of the wind. You know, just get myself accustomed to this new landscape.
Give me a nature check. Actually, I'll let this be your call, nature or survival.
We'll do survival. Because it's definitely more of that kind of vein, anyway. Ooh, that's just a 10.
10. You can see little white caps over the water. It's nothing large, but with this massive of a body of water that it's your first time being on, you feel that the wind is more than it is in the like it was in River's Meet or upstream where you were surrounded by trees. This with this wide open area, the air definitely has time to catch up, and it's a little brisk even. But it seems to come in waves. The rest of the land is fairly open, but in the far distance you can see what looks like the beginnings of rolling hills.
Do I get a sense? I don't have the keen mind, whatever. But do I get a sense of where home would be, like what direction home would be?
What was your survival check?
10. Average.
You have a general idea. As you are leaving, and you've felt the river is making a general turn, kind of gliding it over to the west. And you think behind you is River's Meet. And at this angle, even farther and farther in that direction beyond, not quite in the direction of the prowling fields where you had left the plume of smoke, but more eastern to that.
Yeah, I'll just turn around and sit and just kind of stare that direction for a while. Just contemplate life.
Time goes by. The crew begins to come back. Hutch returns, heads downstairs with an empty bowl, returns back on deck with empty hands. Keeps an eye on the... Figure this out.
Where's the bowl, man? Go up to him with the rapier. This is what's for. Where's the bowl?
There's no sign of Claudine. She seems to be staying below deck.
Everyone's sick of us.
Hutch begins to keep work on some lines, keeping everything in order now that you are well underway, just keeping everything tidy. At one point, the other door on the stern opens, and the captain comes out, and he heads back up to the helm. And Aiken and Zubin watching over, you see that there's the waves of wind that have been coming, and you feel the boat catching in those. You watch as Captain Vilthuna talks to Jeffrin for a moment. And there's a moment where Jeffrin lets go of the helm, and there's no one touching it. And there's a nod between the two of them. And the captain grabs hold of it. And as he does, you feel the ship ever so slightly pick up speed a little bit more. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end tonight's session of Melos Machina.
Welcome aboard.
Magic boat man.
Nice. Cool.
Thank you so very much for being with us, everyone. We are going to be continuing again next week. We'll continue downriver, heading towards Gladen. And
Upriver.
yes, downriver, But no.
Down south.
Down
Upriver.
south, upriver.
I don't know
to
why you did
Gladen.
it to yourself.
You all have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.